Hello, welcome to Ra-El-Bull. I'm a professional astrologer and holistic wellness practitioner. Thanks so much for choosing to spend these precious minutes of your time with me today. This is the monthly general astrology overview for August 2024. I'm your host and guide, Ifeymerael. Please remember to like, share it, and subscribe to support this channel. I'm so grateful for your thoughtful assistance. August 2024 follows July's spiritually potent, high-octane astro-dynamics that were super rich in lunar energy and mentally vibrant. July featured three remarkable fixed star conjunctions, strong outer planet activations, and many personal planet blessings. August continues much of that same energy, although there are some important transits to be aware of. Also, August is heavy in retrograde energies. By August 4, Pluto, Saturn, Chiron, Neptune, and Mercury will all be retrograde. That means revisitation, re-emergences, resurges, returns, redevelopments, restrategizing, rethinking, etc. It can also mean planetary energies recede into the background or become more internalized or retrospective. Fortunately, the overall energy for August looks a bit chaotic but positive, with mid-month intensity sandwiched between happy and truly uplifting periods. In week one, we have a wonderful Venusian new moon in Leo with a couple caveats I'll describe. There's some crunchy energy for about 9 days, starting on the 14th, followed by a period of uplifting Venusian and Virgo energy that lasts about 8 days. We have a few remarkably magical days on the 7th, 8th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 29th, including two magical 888 portals. Let's break it down into 4 event periods this month. Event period 1, the new moon in Leo, the first week, and the Lionsgate portal. On August 4th, 4:12 a.m., the sun conjuncts the new moon at 12 degrees 33 minutes Leo. This occurs in the wake of Venus trining Chiron 5 days earlier, the sun trining the north node on the 1st, and Venus squaring Uranus on the 2nd. There's a very nice ramp up of positive healing, pleasure, and abundance, self-expression, and self-actualization energies in the hours leading up to the Leo new moon, which is independently quite positive energetically. Beware that Venus square Uranus will likely mean surprises involving money, aesthetics, our values, love, and personal relationships. They can be good or bad surprises, but it's likely we'll have to make a choice of some kind. A couple other complications you should know. On the day of the new moon, Venus enters Virgo, where she's in her fall, and Mercury stations retrograde just a few degrees ahead of Venus, about 4 degrees Virgo that day. However, those complicating transits are nicely counterbalanced with 2 uplifting transits on Venusian day number 7, 3 days after the new moon. Venus conjuncts Mercury, that's at 8:12 p.m., 3 degrees 43 minutes Virgo, and the Leo sun sextiles our Jupiter in Gemini, that's at 6:36 a.m., 15 degrees 32 minutes Leo Gemini. Let's unpack all of that and see what we find. Leo is about romance, self-expression, creativity, performance, and joy. And the moon is like an entry point into a shadow realm of unfathomable, ineffable power. It's a realm of inexhaustible emotional, intuitive, and psychic energy. As for the sun, he rules Leo, and at 4 degrees, he's in his own face where his dignity is optimized. In general, this is a beautiful placement for a new moon, but as I suggested, there are a few things to observe. Venus is in her fall in Virgo by the end of the day, that is 7:33 p.m. So if you're planning something Venusian, love, money, beauty, and you wish to align it with the new moon, do it during the window period of 4:12 a.m. to 7:23 p.m. on the 4th. And remember, Mercury stations retrograde at 9:56 p.m. that same day, so use caution. And visit my Mercury retrograde guidance page on my website. The link is below if you need assistance with Mercury retrograde issues. Last, remember the shadow sides of Leo. ego inflation, self centeredness, vanity, pride, narcissism, recklessness, and so on. Let's roll forward to Venusian day 7. Two important things happen. At 6:36 a.m., the Sun sextiles Jupiter. That's at 15 degrees, 32 minutes Leo Gemini. And at 8:12 p.m., Mercury conjuncts Venus. That's at 3 degrees, 43 minutes Virgo. Let's take that one first. Mercury is communication, thinking, and mobility. His linking up with Venus like this in his home sign, while he's retrograde, suggests a favorable reworking or redesign on some creative or communication project, or even relationship issues like counseling or couples therapy, and possibly the return of a former partner, business or personal, or love relationship. It's a favorable transit for relationships and Venusian matters like design, fashion, and creativity in general. But remember, Venus is in her fall in Virgo, so be careful about high stakes choices involving love, money, and aesthetics. Her energies aren't optimized now, but she is direct. The Leo Sun's sextile to our Gemini Jupiter is an amplification and recharge of our potential for joy, luck, opportunity, and abundance. Jupiter also rules higher education, philosophy, and foreign travel, making it an excellent time to plan a trip or research new training or education, particularly in the fields of law, spirituality, and philosophy. Sextiles present opportunities, not gift-wrapped presents, so be watchful and thoughtful on this day so you're poised to act. And not to be overlooked, the yearly astronomical event celebrated in ancient Egypt and sometimes called the Galactic New Year takes place in early August when the dog star Sirius makes his heliacal rising. Sirius visibility in the sky occurs around this time each year because he becomes sufficiently distant from the sun to be seen. As I said in my July 2024 general astrology video, late July and the first 10 to 12 days of August are commonly called the Lion's Gate portal because Sirius is in the constellation of Leo in the sidereal. Sirius is the brightest star in the sky and is strongly associated with the lion as well as the dog. As a Leonine symbol, Sirius represents Christ consciousness, light work, and spiritual service. Both Hathor and Isis are linked to Sirius, and mythologies and ancient mystical traditions across the globe recognize Sirius as an especially potent and beneficent star. A new moon tightly conjunct Sirius, like the July Cancer new moon was, is an exceedingly rare event. So the heliacal rising on the 8th of August is an especially important event this year, and it's another watershed moment for the astrological superconfiguration I call Gate of the Fire Horse, forming now and culminating in 2026. If you set your intentions on the new moon in line with Syrian or Cancerian values, as I suggested in my July video, you'll probably experience some highly positive developments around the 8th. And as I said, we have two special 888 portals this month, which can only occur in years having a universal number 8. We'll discuss the second portal in Event Period 2, August's bumpy ride and the auspicious 817-8 portal. As I said at the start, we'll experience some turbulence mid-month that lasts a little over a week. The challenging aspects are several. I'll briefly list them. They all involve Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn. Mars conjuncts Jupiter on the 14th, Mars squares Saturn on the 15th, Venus is opposite Saturn on the 19th, Jupiter squares Saturn on the 19th, and Venus squares Mars on the 22nd. The Jupiter-Saturn square deserves some special commentary. These two planets, unlike the personal planets, will more or less hold this aspect over the next year. It becomes exact on the 19th of August and again at the end of the year on Christmas Eve, December 24, and for a third time next summer, June 15, 2025. Jupiter is about wisdom, our higher beliefs in spirituality, truth, opportunity, expansion, luck, and abundance. Saturn is the iron-fisted disciplinarian, the authority, the rule maker. His domain includes constraints, restrictions, and limitations. So this is not an easy transit, but Saturn's changes and course corrections improve our lives and up-level us. Addictions and indulgences of all kinds, and which are not in our best interests, are often in Saturn's sights for remediation. So be mindful of that over the next year. And a word to the wise, find out what houses these squares fall in your natal astrology chart. Having said all of that, this jarring and irritating span of 9 days is not without its redeeming qualities. There are three of them. Mercury and the Sun trine Chiron on the 15th. Mercury's Cazimi on the 18th is especially long. Cazimis can cut both ways, but look for blessings during the Epiphany window, which I'll provide for you in event period 3. Auspicious Master Builder Day 8/17/2024, that is the second 888 portal, is the third redeeming aspect during the 9-day bumpy ride. I'll say much more about that in event period 4. The Sun and Mercury trine to Chiron is a very positive, uplifting astrological moment of healing. The Sun is our vitality and joy and self-expression, and Mercury is our thinking, communication, and mobility. When the pair of them form an auspicious angle with the wisdom keeper and healer Chiron, we'll probably experience some positive new understanding about our own lifelong wounds, learn new ways to communicate with our wounded inner selves or about our inner wounds, and generally feel new solar positivity and self-love in some related respects. Event period 3, the Aquarius full moon. The Aquarius full moon falls within event period 2, technically, at its end on the 19th. That's at 11:25 a.m., 27 degrees, 14 minutes, Aquarius Leo. This August, our full moon is both a blue moon, meaning it's the third seasonal full moon in that rare season, having 4 full moons like the summer, and a supermoon, meaning it's within 90% of its closest orbital approach to the Earth. Both the supermoon and blue moon qualities are likely to mean especially powerful lunar energies, especially if you're an Aquarian or Leo or have key points in your natal chart near the 27-degree mark of the fixed fire or air signs. The moon in Aquarius holds a bundle of contradictions. Words like detached and aloof spring to mind, or even cold and calculating. Yet the moon here isn't selfish, but altruistic and generous and community-minded. Full moons are about completions, endings, and full moon nations. Look back at what you had intended to accomplish 6 months ago for the Aquarian new moon in February. You'll likely discover a full arc of some kind for whatever journey of desire or goal you set. Full moons are also about illuminations and revelations. Another way to understand the full moon is the triple goddess, Maiden, Mother, Crone, with the full moon holding the creation power of the mother. Full moons, of course, are oppositions between the sun and moon. So again, the key here is to understand the polarities of the solar and lunar energies within the signs and houses where they're found. This is the key to fruition and manifestation in the case of projects we've been trying all month long or since the prior same sign new moon to bring to completion. In the case of conflicts, problems, or crises, knowing the resonances and metrics of these energetic polarities are the key to resolution and integration. With all that in mind, be mindful that that full moons are moments of highly amplified emotion. And with all these event period 2 harsh aspects surrounding this full moon, we should be on guard to not allow our emotions to trigger us or dominate us in ways we regret. More pointedly, the Venus-Saturn opposition and the squares to Saturn by Mars and Jupiter from event period 2 are potential sources of discord. It's advisable to look at where those aspects fall in your natal houses so you can be aware of where the triggers may lie as a proactive measure. Saturn governs discipline, rules, responsibility, and so on. And these transits are likely to highlight consequences of our actions, past, present, and future. Also, the Mercury and Sun squares to Uranus in event period 2 are almost certain to bring surprises and or disruptions into the sectors of our lives and qualities of our experience governed by the natal houses hosting those transits. Uranus surprises can cut in every way, bad, neutral, or wonderful. So there's no reason for pessimism, just know life is unpredictable. Sometimes huge disruptions turn into great blessings. Some additional pointers and uplifts for the 9-day jostle of energy spanning event periods 2 and 3, hosting the Aquarius full moon. Pay attention to where the Mercury Cazimi falls in your chart. Make time during the precise Cazimi window, and that is 10:50 a.m. on the 18th through 3:15 a.m. on the 19th. So you can be open to receiving helpful insights or flashes of genius when Mercury arrives at the throne of the sun. This is a lengthy Cazimi. It's 16 and a half hours because Mercury's in his retrograde motion and moving slowly. Be especially careful on the 17th through the 19th not to overindulge, not to overspend, overcommit, overeat, or overdrink. Venus squares Jupiter on these days, and this transit promotes excess in the Venusian fields and areas. Venusian judgments about our appearance and about design, fashion, beauty, and so on can be overinflated and over the top. Also remember Venus is in her fall in Virgo. Our Venusian judgments right now are not awesome. On the 22nd, we change altitude, thankfully, and the bumpy flight smooths out, with one exception, which we'll discuss in connection with event period 4, 8 fantastic days. On the 22nd, the sun enters Virgo, giving new power and vitality into our approach to work, daily routines, diet, and our fitness and health in general. The same day, we feel the impact of one final burst of turbulence when Mars squares Venus. That's at 10:20 p.m., 22 degrees 8 minutes Virgo, Gemini. I'll fastly note this occurs on calendar day and master builder number 22 and at 22 degrees Virgo and Gemini, following on the 17th master builder 33 formulation, which I'll explain in a moment. Look for some archangelic uplift on this day, the 22nd, tied to the blessings of August 17. It may well be related to Virgo matters, diet, health, work, or connect with the Mars-Venus square and involve male-female relationships or some other Mars-Venus intersection, including where the transit lands in your natal chart. What's the deal with August 17, 2024, besides the fact it reduces to 888? As I explained in my video, Introduction to Project 17, the link is below, 17 is a magical number of alignment, manifestation, spiritual awakening, epiphany, insight, and mysticism. It's also a number of new beginnings, assertiveness, ambition, leadership, and success. Also, 8-17-8 sums to Master Builder number 33, as I mentioned. For spiritually awakened persons, this kind of numerological factoid is difficult to dismiss. A quick aside about Project 17, it's easy and free to participate in this fun, exciting project. I hope you'll join, especially if you have any of the key indicators for the Gate of the Firehorse configuration. Returning to the parade of happy transits, 6 days after the 8-17-8 portal on the 23rd, Mercury sextiles Mars. That's at 9:30 p.m., 22 degrees 48 minutes Leo, Gemini. And on the 24th, Mars sextiles Chiron at 11:33 a.m. That's at 23 degrees 10 minutes Gemini, Aries. Let's talk about those two sextiles. Sextiles are opportunities for improvements and uplifts. So watch for positive developments in thinking, communication, and mobility. And let me note that we're poised to experience more personal healing given the Chiron-Mars connection. This is the 4th positive Chiron aspect we've experienced with personal planets in about 5 weeks. For the 27th through the 29th, Venus manifests a fulsome state of beneficence when she trines both Pluto and Uranus, closely aligned with Mercury stationing direct in Leo. This is a fantastic week. On the 27th, she trines Uranus, that's at 12:23 a.m., 27 degrees 14 minutes Virgo Taurus. This is an earth trine, meaning positive material manifestations, wealth, abundance, beauty, love. The following day, Mercury stations direct. That's at 2:14 a.m., 21 degrees Leo, 24 minutes. Stalled out projects and stuck intransigent things, including thinking, communication, and mobility concerns, are dislodged, re-engaged, and things start moving forward. The 29th will be another day of considerable Venusian abundance. She air trines Pluto at 7:31 a.m. That's at 0 degrees 3 minutes Libra Aquarius, just after she enters her home domain of Libra at 6:23 a.m. Air is associated with communication, thinking, information, vibration more broadly, and energy, and also justice, equilibrium, balance, and fairness. Social media, community, and the internet are governed to a large degree by the air signs. Pulling all this Venusian action together with Pluto, Uranus, and Mercury going direct, here's what I see. The Uranus Earth trine is wonderful, exactly the kind of aspect that indicates a big positive surprise in the material: money, property, luxury goods, a lover, a relationship, and so on. Mercury stationing direct in Leo in the Mars-facing decan is a highly activating and expressive transit. Look back a few days towards the Mercury-Mars sextile on the 23rd. You may spot a key development connected with that aspect. On Elven Day 29, Venus makes an air trine with Pluto from her home sign of Libra, linked to the 7th house of balance, justice, and relationships. Pluto is about secrecy, power, control, transformation, endings, and new beginnings. This is fantastic for marriage and domestic relations, as well as legal matters, such as negotiations and settlements. Also, the air trine, the Venusian blessings to our Taurian Uranus and Aquarian Pluto, and the Leonine Mercury direct station all point to excellent prospects, achievements, and good fortune in the domains of the internet, social media, and the web. So that wraps up my general astrology overview for August 2024. Because of so much retrograde energy, August is one of those retrace your steps segments in our lives, a brief detour that allows us to tidy up, rejigger, and recalibrate many of our life affairs. We have a joyful new moon in Leo at the start, a day of Venusian and Jupiterian blessings at the end of week 1, 2 magical 888 portals, 3 beautiful angelic days mid-month, and a truly splendid 8-day stretch beginning on the 22nd. So keep all that in mind mid-August if you meet with a bundle of challenges and S-curves. You probably will. Don't despair, because August starts and ends splendidly. And remember, your spiritual journey is up-leveling you even when you can't see it. If you need to know how to discover where your houses fall within your natal chart, you can visit any search engine site and type free natal astrology chart. You'll have to key in your birthday and time if you know it, and your place of birth. I recommend choosing the Placidus or whole sign house system. If given a choice, I'd start with tropical Western astrology rather than Vedic or sidereal. Or you can visit my site, listed in the description below, if you'd like your chart prepared by a professional astrologer. Until August 8, my standard and premium natal chart services are 61% off. That includes a 1-hour consultation for Tier 2, 90 minutes for Tier 3. Visit the links in the description below to order. If you're interested in being a part of the Gate of the Firehorse community, please visit my website. The Gate of the Firehorse is a fastly approaching epic configuration crystallizing in the outer reaches of our solar system by 4 super potent, radically transformative, and magical planets. Please see my video introduction to Project 17 if you wish to experience the first Gate of the Firehorse project in the portfolio. And if you're interested in my fusion martial arts choreo-energetic practice, Hung Chi, see my website where you can learn all the basic postures and passes for the zodiac, the planets, key transits, and other astro features. Hung Chi is a subtle, energetic, spiritual, holistic, Aquarian group art form for fitness, wellness, and higher self activations. This video has provided some broad and generalized astrological advice. If you'd like customized and focused advice about a particular event or undertaking, please contact me using the information below, and you can even place an order directly on my site. In addition to natal chart and electional chart services, I also provide Sophianic spirituality, higher self activations, and general consultations for spirituality, health and wellness, and career. You can also schedule time for a one-to-one consult with me directly on the site. If you're in the LA area, please take a look at the online group I organized, the Los Angeles Shamanism Meetup Group. Last but not least, if you're interested in participating in a Sophia Circle journey, I'm a certified Sophia Circle journey leader who conducts both live in the Los Angeles area and online virtual circles. Instructions for joining can be found on my site on the services page. Thank you again for spending your time with me today. Ra-El Bull.